Wanted your administration to cease and desist on payments to journalists to promote your agenda. You cited the need for ethical concerns and the need for a bright line between the press and the government. Your administration continues to make the use of video news releases, which are prepackaged news stories sent to television stations, fully aware that some or many of these stations will air them without any disclaimer that they are produced by the government. Comptroller General of the United States this week said that raises ethical questions. Does it raise ethical questions about the use of government money to produce stories about the government that wind up being aired with no disclosure that they were produced by the government?
There is a Justice Department opinion that says these pieces are within the law so long as they're based upon facts, not advocacy. And I expect our agencies to adhere to that ruling, to that Justice Department opinion. This has been a long-standing practice of the federal government to use these types of videos. The Agricultural Department, as I understand, has been using these videos for a long period of time. The Defense Department, other departments have been doing so. It's important that they be based upon the guidelines set out by the Justice Department. Now, I think it'd be helpful if local stations then disclose to their viewers if that's, that this was based upon a factual report and they chose to use it. But evidently in some cases that's not the case. So anyway.
The administration should guarantee that's happening by including that language in the prepackaged report.
Yeah, I don't, look, oh, you mean a disclosure? I'm George W. Bush and I...
Well, some way to make sure it couldn't air without the disclosure that you believe is so vital.
Ken, I mean, there's a procedure that we're going to follow, and the local stations ought to, if there's a deep concern about that, ought to tell their viewers what they're watching. Yes, sir.
But here it is. We're living in a 4 to 5% world now. Get used to it. And I don't think people have quite adjusted to that. We had 14, 15 years of cost-free money. Everybody looks smart. And now we're going to find out who really is smart because you have opportunity costs here. The 1 year, look at where it's trading. Right around 5. A little bit off today, but this is a very tough hurdle for people to meet who have gotten used to zero interest rates. And remember, the Fed's also paring back the balance sheet, $85 billion a month in treasuries, no action in the mortgage backs. We're running bigger deficits. And every country in the world, by the way, is ramping up defense spending and running their fiscal policy very hard. Who's going to buy all that paper? At what price? And that's what I love about this panel. You guys will figure it out before I do.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And guys, we know that crash is right around the corner. But we know when it comes to the mainstream media and the politicians, they give the illusion that they're fighting for the people. So therefore, the people sit on their hands. Ignore what's going on in the real world. But we know, guys, when they wake up, we know the robots, algorithms, and drones are about to take over this economy. And we can look at the Fed numbers. If you go onto the Fed website, we can see the cracks in the consumer. And in a few more months after they finish spending this tax money, guys, we're going to get the full effect. We know right now the Fed is holding up stocks and cryptos, and they're going to keep rates high at this time, so therefore they can crush this economy. So therefore they can build a digital transformation. And guys, I've done plenty of videos on Ray Kurzweil and Ben Goertzel. The singularity net is right around the corner. And I know some of you don't want to wake up, but as you can see, the time is running out. We know the 2030 agenda has definitely been moved up. And remember, your life is an illusion and TV is your reality. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you because he knows. When it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Guy is freaky. He says computers will have consciousness in just 25 years.
As we get to the 2030s, you're not going to be able to tell a clear difference between human and machine intelligence.
Do you think we're going to see an AI like Jarvis? In Iron Man, Jarvis is sort of a personal AI that helps you interpret information, interface with the world. Where are we now, and how fast will we get to to something Jarvis-like?
Well, another example of Jarvis was Samantha and Her.
Yep, which was a great movie, a non-dystopian movie for the first time. Thank you,
Yeah,
Hollywood.
well, yeah, I mean, it was a futuristic movie that I thought was somewhat consistent with my ideas, because not only was it not dystopian, but it wasn't this one AI versus a brave band of humans for control of the world. It wasn't one AI. Everybody had their OS, and it was smart enough for you to fall in love with and have a relationship with. So, I mean, that's an articulation of human-level AI, which I've been very consistent at putting at 2029. So actually, in a book I wrote in 1989, Age of Intelligent Machines...
2029 is 11 years from now.
No, it's 12.
Well, we're about at 2018, so... If it's going to be available in 2029, it'll be in beta in 2028.
Well, things are going to be moving quickly, so it's December 2029. But so I bounded it, I said, from early 2000s to late 2030s in the age of intelligent machines, which I wrote in the 80s. Actually, it took longer to write a book in those days. My most important information technology was a roll of quarters that I could use to feed the copier in the library. Really, because, I mean, that's how
you did your research, huh?
You went to a library and you'd find some pages and you had to copy them.
If you were lucky enough to find the pages.
Right. I mean, that was a skill. So 1999, I said 2029, Age of Spiritual Machines.
That's amazing.
So that was very controversial. Stanford held a conference on my prediction, and they took a poll. There are no instant polling devices, so it was by hand. But the consensus of AI experts was hundreds of years, if ever. I'd say 25% said it would never happen. 2006, there was a conference, AI 50, at Dartmouth to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the 1956 Dartmouth conference that gave AI its name, by my mentor Marvin Minsky and John McCarthy. And the consensus, then we had instant polling devices, and consensus was 50 years. Polls now the median is 20 to 30 years. There's a growing group of people who think I'm too conservative. But that's looking quite sound to me. I mean, it's looking more and more comfortable. Like, I see what we can do already. We have computers that do a pretty good job of understanding the meaning of natural language. And
a friend of mine's company called Viv was just acquired by Samsung. They've done, these are from the founders of Siri, they've done an amazing job, and it's the age of the personal assistant, they call it. So 2029 for Jarvis-like interface.
I mean, they're getting better at a fantastic pace.
Yeah.
I mean, in a matter of months, the systems that I see and experience and work with are getting rapidly better. So 2029 is going to be about right.
And you're inside the rabbit hole here at Google.
This afternoon, the Secretary General and Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum, will witness the signing of a memorandum of understanding on a strategic partnership between the UN and the World Economic Forum, which outlines areas of cooperation to deepen engagement between the two institutions and to jointly accelerate the implementation of the 2030 agenda.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.